Hi everyone, my name is Benedikte Wallace. I am a PhD student at the University of Oslo in Norway, and I work on training deep neural networks on creative data, like dance. So today I'll be presenting my work embodying an interactive AI for dance through movement ideation. Using a dataset of full body motion capture recordings of 9 dancers improvising to 6 different musical stimuli, I've trained various generative deep learning models. This dataset of improvised dance is available online, so feel free to check it out and play around with it. I'm very interested in seeing what other uses it might have. So in previous work, my focus has been a little more on the technical side, looking at how best to train the models and exploring the movement variations that it can generate. In this work, the focus has shifted to how a generative model might actually be useful to dancers in their practice. Does generative AI have a place in dance practice? And what might that look like? State-of-the-art movement models are still developing when it comes to generating output that achieves the same realism and expressivity that humans dance. And there exists few, if any, suitable real-time generative models to work with. So to examine the potential future of generative AI, we therefore chose to forego the use of any AI model in our study, instead utilizing role play and a speculative design approach wherein the dancers themselves take on the role of the AI. To start exploring that, we hosted 2 workshop events, one in Oslo and one in London, wherein dancers were invited to take part in a day of body storming and discussions. So in these body storming sessions, the participants take on the role of the AI, receiving input in the form of the movement of the other participant and responding in a way they might expect or hope a generative AI would respond in order to inspire and further innovation and curiosity in the person providing the input. The dancers got together in pairs, one taking on the role of the input and one taking the role of the AI, which is the creativity support role. During body storming, we supply the dancers with 2 prompts. One is a sequence continuation task, and the other is a pair improvisation. The prompts are intended to mimic 2 common ways we imagine that generative AI might be used in creativity support, either through sequence browsing or in real-time interactions. After each body storming session, we sat down for an open-ended discussion about the experience. And using a reflexive thematic analysis approach, we then iterate over the discussion transcripts and notes to construct a set of themes that we feel reflect the dancer's experience. This analysis gave rise to 3 overarching themes: intuiting flow, going beyond replica, and the building and breaking of shared images. So we're going to go through each of these in a little more detail. The first theme emerges from the many moments of intuition, kinesthetic awareness, and the lightning-fast prediction that are displayed by the participants during their improvisation. This lack of conscious decision-making is crucial to upholding the flow of the improvisation due to the speed at which these interactions are happening. And the complexities involved in formalizing these interactions are a clear challenge for building an AI dancer that can foster kinesthetic creativity and contribute to dance creation. So the participants are able to do this through years of experience, and this interpretation and intuition was quite hard for them to put into words. Our second theme, Beyond Replica, aims to encapsulate the concepts relating to the body and the limitations and affordances that participants envision when interacting with a non-human form. Many of the concerns that the dancers expressed were closely related to an AI dancer's lack of embodied experience. Participants question how exhaustion, restrictions in physical space, and the occurrence of mistakes could be fully exploited by the AI the way it is by humans. These observations prompted us to reflect on the utility of AI as going beyond replica, expanding on salient features of the dancer's movement in surprising ways. One of the dancers pointed this out in the following quote: "As creators, we have moments where we can be in a loop. If the AI can give another perspective, it can be useful. It maybe does not have to be so realistic. It's enough if it triggers something different." Lastly, we introduced the theme Building and Breaking Shared Images to describe how participants' experiences and culture allows them to build a rapport with one another, as well as surprise each other by deviating from their partner's expectations. With this theme, we try to describe the complex act of communication through movement that participants displayed in the body storming sessions. And this is perhaps most clear in the participants' descriptions of shared images. These images exist in the minds of the dancers, having been formed by their experiences through and separate from dance. Their interactions consist of an ongoing communication of these images. As one participant explained, "We have these common images that we share with each other from our history and who we are, and this keeps evolving." Lastly, we've attempted to bring together our themes to suggest some implications for the future of generative AI in dance. The first is predictability and surprise. Novelty or surprise is a central aspect of our understanding of creativity, both in humans and in computer systems. And a necessary counterpart to novelty and surprise is the notion of predictability. Participants build a rapport, which we describe as a shared image, an understanding of what they are creating together. This shared image helps the participants predict what their partners might do next and where the overall improvisation is going. The second is leveraging AI glitch. While the potential for AI to be non-human in its movements and shape is seen partly as a challenge, it's also seen as a positive aspect. When imagining a collaboration with an AI dancer, the participants express a desire for the AI dancer to exploit its non-humanness in favor of an AI, which is a mere replica. This further ties into the notion of mistakes having value. When the participants experience fatigue or simply misstep, these unintentional movements shape the improvisation, sometimes in ways the participants appreciate. And finally, we want to bring our focus to the intangible moments. In our discussions, there have been many occasions where the participants struggle to put into words exactly what they were thinking or why they responded the way that they did to their partner, simply explaining that they were acting on intuition. The intuitive responses between participants point to obstacles for an AI dancer, which go beyond the technical challenges of real-time feedback and large varied datasets. It points to the importance of the inactive, embodied experience inherent to the dancer's interactions. We hope that bringing together creative practitioners and AI developers through interaction and reflection sessions can be beneficial for both parties. In addition to improving current approaches in generative and interactive AI, it also brings practitioners in under the hood of AI, increasing their understanding of how the models work. This could empower practitioners to influence the development and use of AI in creative domains, bridging the gap between art and technology and potentially furthering both. Thank you all for listening.